Hello and welcome to the channel. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please subscribe. Hope you like the content. Let's get into the topic. So, as we all know, Tyson Fury, this week actually, isn't it, is set to take on Braun Strowman. No, he's taking on Braun Strowman. It's in Saudi Arabia and it's on a WWE pay-per-view. Okay, I think it's Crown Jewel. Okay, now this is according to ESPN MMA. Okay, in which they asked Tyson Fury basically because basically Tyson Fury didn't tell Frank Warren about this. So Bob Arum, I'm assuming, knew, but Frank Warren didn't know that Fury would be basically taking this, quote unquote fight with Braun Strowman. So Tyson Fury is quoted as saying he didn't tell Frank, and he said, "I want it to be a big surprise." He was mad. Frank Warren was. He was quite pissed off, to be fair. He said, "This is a really bad idea. What happens if the cut reopens? What happens if and Tyson Fury basically said in response to that, what happens if I get run over by a bus?" So that's what Tyson Fury had to say. So basically, Frank Warren is, not necessarily keen on Tyson Fury taking this, quote unquote fight against Braun Strowman. Okay. Now, Frank Warren, as we know, is, he's getting on in years. And maybe he doesn't strike me as a guy who would watch much WWE. So maybe he thinks it's a little bit more, I don't want to say rough than it actually is, because we all of us know that WWE is scripted, and that's one of the reasons why I've not really been, enjoying seeing Tyson Fury on WWE TV, because he seems very, I don't know, what's the word you want to use, just not himself. When we see Tyson Fury, we are used to seeing him at press conferences where it's not scripted, it's just sporadic, and he really can go for it. With WWE, it's scripted, it's PG, so we can't even swear, and you really do feel he's just grounded a lot more there. Whereas, if this was him versus Deontay Wilder, we both know as well as anyone does, he'd be giving it the dosser non-stop. That's one of the reasons. But Frank Warren said that he's worried about Tyson Fury's eye getting cut again. Now, as I said, WWE is not real. The punches they throw are fake. I think they're open-fisted or something like that. So I wouldn't necessarily be worrying too much about the eye opening up. As I said, I think Frank Warren is maybe a little bit in the dark in terms of what WWE actually do. It's entertainment. They were the WWF back in the day until they had that issue with the Wildlife Foundation, and then they became WWE, the E standing for entertainment. Okay, it's an entertainment. It's not a sport. If you look at boxing, it's a sport. People are there to be entertained as well, but there's nothing fake about the shots that are getting thrown. Whereas WWE, it's purely an entertainment spectacle. The promos, the scripts they read off, it's all to entertain fans. Okay, the matches they have, they're choreographed very well, but it's all to entertain fans. So in terms of Tyson Fury taking part in this, I wouldn't necessarily worry about the cut at all. I'd be very surprised if that cut reopens. Now, that's not to say it won't. We're talking less than 2 months removed. I'm sure that scar tissue hasn't, I can guarantee it's not healed. So I would imagine I wouldn't say the slightest punch, but I would imagine that if a punch landed incorrectly, then yeah, it possibly could open. But I wouldn't worry too much about that. And as I said, I don't think Frank Warren is necessarily up to speed on WWE. Now, I used to watch it when I was a kid. I've not watched it in years. The only time I've really started watching it is, as I said, with Tyson Fury, just to see his promos. But I wanted to kind of get a look in and just kind of see what wrestling is like nowadays. So I went and had a look on YouTube on some various... The one thing that kind of amazed me about it is kind of how far it's gone. I mean, there are literally, and you can look this up on YouTube, there are literally people flinging other people around with their dicks in wrestling. So yeah, it's completely choreographed, it's completely fake, it's scripted. So I wouldn't be worrying if I was Frank Warren about Tyson Fury's eye reopening. It is kind of strange that he didn't tell Frank Warren, because ever since Tyson Fury signed this ESPN deal, it's been a lot more of Tyson Fury and Bob Arum as opposed to Tyson Fury, Frank Warren. It's almost like Frank's taking a backward step. It really has been kind of like he's been shut out to dry. Now, I know Fury hoped to fight in the UK this year. Obviously, with the cut, that's not going to happen, so this is probably the next best thing. If I was Frank Warren and I was seeing Tyson Fury doing what he's doing now in terms of, trying to build his profile in America, go on WWE TV, I'd be all for this. Because it's very little risk to him. At the end of the day, it's scripted. So if he he's probably going to win. So if he wins, it's not going to make him look any better or worse, because we all know it's scripted. In terms of, injuries, I'd be very surprised if Tyson Fury comes away from the Crown Jewel pay-per-view with a serious injury or a cut eye again. I'd be shocked. So it's going to build Tyson Fury's profile. The WWE, as I said, get a massive audience on all their videos, on all their channels, and of all their pay-per-views, whatever it is. They get a massive audience. So it's going to do him it's not going to do him any harm, going on WWE TV to try and, build his profile up. So I think that from what Tyson Fury's doing in terms of PR, building his profile, I think he's doing great. I think it's a great idea. And I'm surprised that there aren't more... Could you imagine... I was going to say Canelo, but that wouldn't be probably the most straightforward, purely because Canelo was a big enough star, he doesn't need it, and at the end of the day, his English is not great, so WWE probably wouldn't want Canelo, on their show, because he's not got the greatest English, so that's maybe a poor example. But for someone like Tyson Fury trying to build their profile, going on a show at WWE, that's a very, very good idea, because even if they're not fans of boxing, they may be fans of that Braun Strowman guy, so they'll see Tyson Fury with him, and they'll be like, all right, let's take an interest in Tyson Fury, and ergo, you bring fans into boxing. As I said, it's a bit like the KSI Logan Paul thing. Although I'm not, massively happy about it, at the end of the day, if it gets new fans in boxing, that's a good thing, because at the end of the day, boxers pay by the casuals. At the end of the day, if you go to a small hall show, it'd be mainly hardcore fans and a couple of fighters who brought their fans with them. You're not going to see a casual fan who loves Anthony Joshua or who loves, Tony Bellew going to a small hall show. It's not going to happen. When you see these big arenas, you'll see like 20%, maybe 20-15% hardcore, the rest casuals. So the casuals are what bring in the support for boxing, and without them, the sport really would be dead. So I know us hardcore fans do complain sometimes, but sometimes you have to look on the bright side. I think this is a good move from Tyson Fury, and yeah, I'd be interested. I'm probably not going to watch his fight the weekend. I'll probably watch, I don't even know what day it's on. It's a Friday or Saturday. Whichever day it's on, I'm probably not going to watch it, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. I'll watch it on YouTube the next day. So that's my thoughts on this. It is, at this moment in time, it is 10:30 in the evening. And at this minute, I currently stand on 997 subscribers. Okay? 3 more. Then maybe I might have the 1,000 by morning. I don't know. But I am so close. I am going to do a 1,000 subscriber thank you video. And I can't wait to do it. I'm just so excited to actually hit that 1,000 subscriber. I'll kind of touch on that more in my thank you video, but it's amazing. Hopefully we can get it by tomorrow, maybe. It'd be amazing. But just thank you to all the people who've tuned into my channel over the last few months, who've helped make this possible. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, I will talk to you after.